The French New Wave took place during the late 1950s to the early 1960s and is considered one of the most influential movements in film history. Its influence can still be seen in movies today through its experimental nature and iconic style. Previously, movies were credited to the studios and actors involved, as the directors had limited influence on their film's construction and aesthetic. Each director had a similar look and style because they all followed the same rules of the studio. The directors of the French New Wave were heavily influenced by film theorist André Bazin, who advocated for the use of realism in cinema and emphasized the director as being the auteur or author of the film, possessing a distinct personal style. New Wave directors often used fragmented, non-linear narratives, allowing their films to be more introspective and open-ended. This gave films a sense of freedom and complexity, often reflecting the filmmaker's personal experience or vision. This concept revolutionized filmmaking. It encouraged directors to develop their own visual style and have consistent themes or tones that are recognizable as their own. This was very much influential for most directors we know today, especially Quentin Tarantino, Wes Anderson, and Stanley Kubrick. Breaking away from the studio rules and regulations meant these young directors of the French New Wave were left with much lower budgets, especially considering the economic situation of post-World War II France. However, the films produced in this period used that as an advantage to break rules and have complete freedom of expression and film style. Like the Italian neorealism movement that preceded the French New Wave, directors filmed on location with non-professional actors and often natural lighting. Usually focusing on everyday life, this has a very raw feeling or a fly-on-the-wall story perspective. The visual style was similar to a documentary approach to the cinematography. Smaller handheld cameras were often used and allowed actors to improvise and move more freely.
Music.
These films were edited with quick cuts, fast music, and voiceover to speed up the storytelling. Characters even broke the fourth wall, directing the audience, bringing their attention to the fact that they were watching a movie constructed by a visual storyteller. Breaking away from the traditional passive viewer experience, jump cuts became a popular editing technique, famously used in Jean-Luc Godard's Breathless, released in 1960. The cuts were quick and abrupt, without variation in size or angle, breaking down the conception of previous continuity editing rules. This editing style was so influential, it is now used in every YouTuber or influencer's content that we see today. These quick cuts keep our audience engaged. The French New Wave revolutionized cinema and brought a new light to the art of directing. The New Wave proved to filmmakers everywhere that a great film doesn't require high-end equipment and studio quality sets. All it takes is a vision. The New Wave rejected traditional narrative structures and filmmaking techniques. It emphasized personal expression and pushing the boundaries of what film could be. It had a lasting cultural and artistic impact, setting the stage for modern independent cinema.